Watch me be brave. Let me see here. Be brave, girl. You're going live. Turkey sandwich. Testing, testing. Turkey sandwich. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Turkey sandwich. Turkey sandwich. Testing, testing. All right. Can I hear myself? Elay, are you there? Present. I can hear me. Okay, good. Eating good in the neighborhood. Now, let me turn this up. Cue my song, Sarah Jakes Roberts. Turn me up! Turn me up! Turn me up in the microphone! I'm Sarah Jakes Roberts! Oh! I'm Sarah Jakes Roberts! Oh! Shouts out Sarah Jakes Roberts. You got the church now. You did that. How you doing, girl? So everything look good over here. My camera look like it's on clouds, like I'm in a smoke-infested room, and I'm not. Let me see if I can make my phone get brighter. As I say it out loud, it's probably the lack of lighting in this particular room. So that means I'll have to probably bring my portable ring light in here also, so everything can look better. But now I've started recording, so I'm not even getting ready to fool with that right now. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Everything sounds good. I believe everything is on. Yes, everything is on public this time. I did it correctly, so I don't have to check behind myself on that. I'm going to put some cows in the chat really quickly because I wanna. All right, so I have this going on. Let me search cows. Cows in the chat. 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 I'm putting some cows in the chat because they're cute and adorable. And I really feel like putting the cows in the chat right now. Cows in the chat. Cows in the chat. Cows in the chat. Cows in the chat. I have the cows in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Elay TV Morning Mood. This is a time where we put cows in the chat, animal emojis in the chat, and or your favorite emojis in the chat. But please be advised that cows are still allegedly responsible for global warming. So having said that, as the chat fills with cows, have your aerosol can spray ready. How you doing, Bobby Rice? That's an interesting name. I like that, Bobby Rice. Bobby Rice. That should be your product placement name. Suggestion, if you haven't already used that name is marketable. Bobby Rice. Is it pink? No, I don't have the option to have a pink cow one. However, this is what I'll do. I will put a heart because we had strawberry cows one day. So this is what we did. We used strawberries and we put cows in for strawberry milk. So thank you, Bobby Rice, for that. And how you doing? Happy Sunday, sound waves. It is Sunday, isn't it? So right now I'm getting ready to look for some strawberries and some hearts and mix it with cows because I'm getting ready to make a strawberry cow. Watch me work. Thanks, guys, for the idea. So let me look for strawberries first. So what would you choose? A strawberry milkshake or a cold strawberry milk? In this moment, I would choose a strawberry milkshake. Now let me look for some cows. Cow. COW. I found some cows, of course, and now I'm going to put some hearts in here, guys. I'm going to put some pink hearts in here. This is fun. Yay. Strawberry cow. Here's your strawberry cow. It's ST RAWBERRY, cow, at Bobby Rice. Here's your strawberry cow. Yay! Do you guys, are you familiar with the purple cow? That's an ice cream brand. I think it's only in select stores though. There. Where's the heart? I like that. I'm still gonna make a survey. I didn't do the survey yet. And in keeping in lieu with what we're talking about, I'm gonna pick, we're gonna have strawberry milk or strawberry shake. Pick one. Pick one. Yay. And let me put a happy face in there. Emoji. Let me find the happy face emoji. Thank you guys for coming in today. And like Soundwave said, it is Sunday. Happy Sunday to y'all. Strawberry shake. STRAWBERRY SHAKE BROCCOLI. Broccoli. Oh. Shadow's Daddy's Daycare movie. And the kids didn't like it. I think they made Veggie Old cereal. It was Eddie Murphy in that movie, Daddy Daycare. And the kids didn't like it. Strawberry shake, strawberry milk. I'm typing it in right now. That is a good idea. Push that in. There. Start poll. So for me, I'm going to choose strawberry shake. So let me get that started. I'm choosing strawberry milkshake. Now here's the question, guys. Strawberry milkshake from Burger King or McDonald's? Now this is a tough question, like the SATs. This is some serious talk right here. Fun fact about me, I didn't care about the SATs because I knew I was going to go to a community college, so it didn't matter if I bombed the SATs or passed them with flying colors. It didn't matter because I was going to a community college, so I didn't take the SATs seriously. I think I took those mugs as fast as I could, and I tried to leave as fast as I could, and I think I took myself to Burger King or McDonald's just to be finally done with the high school experience. I'm choosing strawberry ST. I thought at one point, maybe 3 years ago, they were gonna, get rid of the kids having to take treacherous SATs. Okay. I did it. I put strawberry shake. You know what else would be good? Strawberry shake and chocolate cake. Come on. That's dinner right there. Since I'm an adult, I can eat what I want with no consequences. That's a lie. Here she come. Y'all know who this girl is. Who she can never mind her business. She comes into my videos. She just employed herself. Quality control check. You guys, if LA gets out of line, hit me up and let me know. Y'all don't have to do nothing. She isn't even supposed to be here. She's supposed to be over there on the bookshelf. No, I'm supposed to be in you guys' presence, in your face, looking just as beautiful as LA. If you don't, thank you. Please sit down. So today I have Fruit Loops, and I have some water. Man, something's wrong with Nesquik. I had ordered Nesquik chocolate from Walmart. I was about to say Walgreens, from Walmart. We placed a small grocery order a couple months back. And I say a couple months back because a couple months back is when I got Nesquik chocolate. And I'm like, okay, let's give it a try. Because I'm thinking how it tasted compared, like, when I was young, like, very late 80s, early 90s, before food started not being food anymore. So I remember how that tastes, and then I also remember when Nesquik tasted different, like when I was in my early teens, 17 or so. I think I started getting back into drinking chocolate milk because of sports. I want to say that our coach told us that chocolate milk is a good thing to drink, to help us so we don't get so fatigued after practice and all that stuff. So I noticed the change then with Nesquik, right? And now here it is 2025, and sound waves, man, it tastes so bad. I would have to classify it that it's not real. It's awful. Our son tried it too, and I was like, is it me, or what do you think? He didn't really like it neither. And he's a modern, he's the it generation now. He's the generation that precedes me. So for him to say that he don't like it, that says a lot. So yes, sound waves, Nesquik is whack. And I wouldn't even recommend you putting it into baked goods, because you know how they have like the powdered chocolate. I know they have chocolate for baking purposes and stuff, but I wouldn't even recommend adding that into any cooking, because it tastes dead. It's so awful. Happy Sunday to you, to our tip hop. Would you mind if I don't want to like disrespect your name, and I don't know if it's one of those situations, if you don't know, if you know how to pronounce it, then you know. But if you wouldn't mind, could you spell like your name phonetically perhaps, so I could try to say it correctly? Artifacts. Oh, that's cool. I instantly thought of a fax machine, but I know what artifacts means, but a fax machine is just as dope as artifacts, because don't nobody use fax machines anymore unless you're doing it electronically, and that's not the same. I like using the real fax machine. Dialing, complete. I'm like, it's sent, so I know they got it. Yeah, I feel good. I got the paperwork in, didn't have to get out the car. Saved a little gas, saved a little time, made me feel like I was living in New York City, where they do big old things like use fax machines. Two-way pages and blueberries. Chirp here, chirp there. How old are you? Leave me alone. Thank you for putting cows in the chats, man. Cows in the chats, cows in the chats. So I hope y'all having a good day today on this Sunday morning. It is Sunday morning, and I made it. Let me look over here. It is 11:51. Come on, computer. Work with me, not against me. It is Sunday, May 4th, 2025, and the time is 11:51, and we made it to Morning Moo. May the 4th be with you if you are into Star Wars, or even if you're not. Today is May 4th, and Star Wars took it upon themselves to deem this as their national holiday. No, I'm not sure if it's official, but it's officially unofficial. Happy May 4th. May the 4th be with you, Star Wars and all. I'm about to put some planets in the chat and some space galactic type stuff in the chat to say shouts out to Star Wars and all that. So let me type in planets. Planet. Let's go. Let me put some planets in the chat. Happy May the 4th be with you. All caps. Get all these things popping up on my screen. Do you want to buy this? No, I'm on live stream. Can you wait? Do you want to buy that? You want some Girl Scout cookies? No! Yeah, but wait, after the live stream. The mints, the peanut butter kind, 2 of each. Okay, I gotta go. Get! Can't you see? Can't y'all see I'm on the live? Ah, man. May the 4th, come on now, be with you. Now, somewhere at somebody's barbecue Baptist church, they done turned this whole Star Wars May the 4th be with you into a Bible sermon. So to save y'all some time for going to church, well, let me wipe off my sweaty Chris Schofield face and say, May the 4th be with you. Just like the 4th, the Star Wars people is with you. May the Lord strength be like that too, but more better. Thank you. Collection plate. Okay, y'all had y'all church, save y'all some time. Y'all could just stay home now. Sit back in your chair, get a bowl of cereal, and just keep it pushing. Church ain't the same no more anyways. So moving forward, welcome to everyone. My name is LA, pronounced like LA like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. Thank you for coming in. Today's choice, I want to talk about JOANN Fabrics, the arts and crafts store, because that was the first arts and crafts store that I can think of that was actually official, far as box brands, marketability, or marketable stores. You know, those big words they use in corporate. So, JOANN Fabrics was first, followed by Michael's, followed by Hobby Lobby. At least that's how it was in the neighborhood where I grew up. Now out of all three, JOANN Fabrics, Michael's, and Hobby Lobby, I like Michael's the best. Well, since JOANN Fabrics was first and played a very important staple in my life, the few times I did get to go there with my mom, I am going to talk about JOANN Fabrics and the fact that they're closing. Now, I'm not sure if all the stores are closing. All the stores. Don't lie to me. Don't you lie to me. Not on Sunday. Okay, so any other day is fine, but not on the Lord's Day. Shan't I lie to thee? What's up, Coco? How you doing? Welcome in. I'm getting my screen set up so I can read about JOANN Fabrics, the craft store that is leaving us. I do have the link in the description. I pre-typed it in there. So what I'm doing is going to Wikipedia so I can read all about it. I'm glad you're doing good, and I really mean that. I'm glad all you guys are doing good in here. Yeah. The world is changing as we speak. It's moving as fast as the internet is now. How do you feel to officially be in real time? The world is caught up with technology. Isn't it neat? So maybe it'll slow down the aging process. In my mind, in the perfect world, I will say yes. So congratulations to everyone. You made it through the ripple of time where we can stop rapidly aging due to unforeseen stresses and things that are out of our control. That's what I say to myself in my mind. Because if you can think it, you can dream it, you can speak it, so shall it be. So once again, I'm going to be talking about JOANN fabrics. The link is in the description box if you want to follow along with me. But I did take the time to copy and paste the portion too. Was in Birmingham, New York, eating great food all Saturday. Very good. Really? Family reunion. Now I was listening to the Joe Budden podcast, and why was all of them and Melissa Ford talking about the electric slide? Some of them said they didn't know how to do it. Some of them didn't know if they remembered had to get the cobwebs off. So they're talking about when do people normally do the electric slide, and are they still doing the electric slide? And they all kind of agreed that the electric slide is done at family reunions. So on some artifacts that y'all do the electric slide. Hey! Look at Granddaddy over there doing an electric slide with chicken wing in both hands. He like, How you doing, artist? How you doing, artist Azalea? Thank you for coming in. You have to put a muzzle on your pet dog. Is your dog barking too much, or is it just going through too much teething? Either way, I wish you the best with your pup. And congratulations, artifacts, for going to a family reunion. What was one of your favorite standout foods that you had there? What was your standout food that you enjoyed while you were in New York? Wow. And I also have another question if you want to answer it. On Netflix, I think the word is post-COVID means after COVID. They did a Netflix original where they talked about food trucks in New York, and how after the COVID they were deeply impacted by that. But there were a few food trucks there in New York that stood the test of time and found ways to continue serving food. So I want to know, how did the food trucks look there when you went? Did you see any, or the traditional hot dog stands? Great. But that's great information to know, because I was able to think of good memories in reference to what I learned / watched about New York. And I'm glad you got to go. That's good feelings. And Coco said it's a dragon. Oh, cool. So what did you name your pet dragon? By the way, How to Train Your Dragon, the human version, is supposed to be coming out sometime soon. I saw a portion of the preview, and it looks like quality work. I didn't want to be disappointed, because you know how finicky these movies can be when they start from like graphic novels to a regular read to an animation or CGI, and then they wait a couple of years and turn it into a human one. I get nervous every time because they can really mess it up. But the preview I saw, How to Train Your Dragon, the human one, I want to see it. For what I saw, I believe they did quite a good job. That's a cool name. That's a cool name, Coco Toxin E. That's dope. It deserves a righteous collar. So I have chilled water today. Normally I'm having room temperature water, but guys, it's heating up outside now, so I have chilled water. It's not the shockingly cold kind. Hey, you are welcome, Coco. Because I don't want to get a brain freeze. And I have some Fruit Loops. So, not sure what snacks you guys are snacking on, but I have some Fruit Loops. We talked about this yesterday. And we segued off talking about Cheerios being Fruit Loops with color. Can you believe 25 minutes have gone by? Never have I ever seen the time go by this fast in a live. Usually when I'm looking at my screen, because the screen is right there, I normally look at it at the 15-minute marker. But this time, about a half hour went by. So let me get into this article here. JOANN Fabrics, JOANN stores, everyone. Let's see here. Not to be confused with JOANN Bed and Bag. Now, I've never even heard of that store before. It's okay, Coco. Pets tend to like to get on keyboards, mainly cats, but hey, a pet dragon, who knows? If you have your pet dragon in your lap, of course they're gonna run up on the keys. So, not to be confused with JOANN Bed and Bag. JOANN redirects here for other uses. See, JOANN. Wow, what kind of word is that? Disambiguation. Well, good mercy, what does that have to do with JOANN Fabrics? This title relates to more than one page. See similar pages. I'm going to have to look at that later. JOANN redirects here for other uses. See JOANN. JOANN Stores LLC. Did you know JOANN's was an LLC and not a corporate? Now, when I see big old situations like this, I always assume it's corporate. Because many people go corporate, but obviously you don't have to go corporate, guys. There's other ways. Well, all you can do right now with this stream, Coco, is continue to comment like you're doing. I don't have any call-ins yet. I'm not quite ready for call-ins. I want to have my system set up a certain way before I do that. But please believe I will be having people call in. That's going to be fun. Or just, I will prefer when I do it, I will need to see your face though. Because why not? But that's now, and that's then. So thank you for asking. So JOANN LLC Styles. JOANN is a soon-to-be-defunct American specialty retail chain specializing in fabrics and arts and craft supplies. So it goes right in saying that this place is closing down. That's a bummer, isn't it? And then they have soon to be defunct, soon-to-be-defunct. JOANN Stores is a soon-to-be-defunct American specialty retail chain specializing in fabrics and arts and craft supplies. The chain is based in Houston, Ohio. Wow, I didn't know that. Did you guys know JOANN Fabrics is based in Ohio? Yo, I hear so many bad things about Ohio. It just makes me question why. I hear so many bad things about Ohio. So here's a fun thing. JOANN Fabrics headquarters is there. And had operated 800 stores across 49 United States until the beginning of 2025. By the end of February 2025, the company began the process of liquidating all its stores after failing to obtain a buyer. Oh, really? 225 stores are expected to close by the end of April, while the remaining 600 are expected to close by the end of May 2025. Dang. So here's the origin/history of JOANN Fabrics. No, I don't. I had a couple of dragon toys from McDonald's when, I believe it was McDonald's when they featured How to Train Your Dragon, but I've lost those since then. But dragon puppets are cool, i.e. the ones in particular where they do the actual puppeteering with the strings, so it can show that the wings are moving. I like those kind. So here's the origin, you guys, of JOANN Fabrics. So I'm going to learn something new today as well. German immigrants Hilda and Bertha Rich Sigmund and Matilda Robich and Justin and Alma Zimmerman opened the Cleveland Fabric Shop in Cleveland, Ohio. Wow, in 1943. After further expansion, the store's name was changed to JOANN Fabrics in 1963. The store's name was created by combining the names of the daughters from both families. Oh, look at the marriage. That's so cute. The store's name was created by combining the names of the daughters from both families, JOANN and Jacqueline. And that's beautiful. My middle name is Ann, A-N-N. JOANN Fabrics became a publicly held corporation traded on the American Stock Exchange under the name of Fabry Centers of America, Incorporated in 1969. Wow, my grandma's time. So they became a corporation, if I'm comprehending this right, in the year of my grandmother's birth. So they've been around the time of my grandma. So when she was of age, she probably went there to make her dresses. I'm only assuming she did that because back then women made their own things by hand, dresses, or got materials because their friends knew how to make things, curtains and such. So this is exciting for me to just also get a piece of history about my grandma, and only to assume and imagine what she could have done or been. The company made its first acquisition with the purchase of Cloth World, a 342-store Southern company, in 1994. At the time of the acquisition, Fabry Centers operated 655 stores. So that's really cool. The company made its first acquisition with the purchase of Cloth World here in the South. Cloth World owned 342 stores in the southern area. In 1994, at the time of the acquisition, Fabry Centers operated 655 stores. In 1997, guys, Fabry Centers settled for $3.3 million on federal charges that it had misled investors in 1992 by overstating its earnings before it sold securities. Oh. CEO Alan D. Roxman, grandson of Hilda and Bertha Ritchie, settled a related administrative complaint as well. Now, I do recall in the early 90s hearing things like this, not only with this company, but like in general, like this was a situation, a mass situation that the stock market brought to the attention of the news, because this is one of those schemes that they found, or schemes that schemesters found a loophole to fabricate numbers so they can get a quick bag. So what I'm talking about is what they're saying. So this corporation was filed federal charges for misleading investors by overstating its earnings before it sold. So it's kind of like they inflated their numbers big, and they got in trouble for that. Fabry Centers acquired House of Fabrics, which also previously operated as Fabricland, Fabric King, and Sofo Fabrics. You guys, Fabric King. So you know me. Although I talk about McDonald's, and I'm heavily rocking McDonald's things now on my platform, because McDonald's is tied in with Minecraft. So, but I like Burger King. So if Fabric King was around, I'll specifically go to Fabric King and Burger King. Why not? They both have King in it. Fabry Centers acquired House of Fabrics, which also previously operated as Fabricland, Fabric King, and Sofo Fabrics in 1998. And speaking of fabrics, guys, I know I will be able to make this myself. It may be crooked, but thinking about how simplistic this is, if I just go to a fabric store and buy some yards of this and just put it together and add my own buttons, voila. In September 1998, the company changed its name to JOANN Stores Incorporated, and all the stores were renamed JOANN Fabrics. Daryl Webb became a chairman and CEO of JOANN Fabrics in March 2006. OMG! 2006 is when our son was born. History again. To my knowledge, Soundwaves, Michaels is still open. They're holding on. At one time, I want to say 7 years ago, Hobby Lobby was in hot water for this same situation. So times were changing then because of people buying things online. I can tell you this, I was first introduced to my first online website where I could buy wholesale funky fabric. And I mean, it's the fabric that you will see like at nightclubs, or like where if you wanted reams of fabric that like glowed in the dark, tiger stripes, animal stripes, all the kooky stuff that Willy Wonka would want, this specific fabric wholesale place was online. And when I was introduced to this, it was probably almost 14 years ago. So just imagine how fast, if I was that floored to see all the fabric options outside of going into the box stores, where people still thought in one direction, kind of straightforward and not outside the box. Just imagine how else everybody else felt who think like you and I, who want different colors and variations of things. So why I said that is because Soundwaves asked if Michaels and Crafts is still open. Yes, I think so. And that caused me to talk about Hobby Lobby. Yes, Garment District in New York City was crazy. There's a woman I followed maybe 7 or 8 years ago. I still follow her, but unfortunately at this time I have not been watching her as much. But she did do like a come with me when she went to like fabric districts and showed us all the material that they had to offer, the clothes, the reams of fabric. She was specifically going in to avoid the middleman, so she was going to place an order on a lot of clothes. I believe that's how it was. I believe she had sponsorship, paid affiliation, but she went to that country, honestly, and they had her pick through like 3 tiers. It was like 3 big shelves from the floor to the ceiling, and it was like different style and I think like a different brand from that same umbrella. But those were the options she were given to select from to see which brand or style she wanted to present to us. But I just thought it was the most coolest thing to just see that world. So once again, Soundwaves Garment District in New York City was crazy. I believe you, because when I watch the food shows in New York City, I'm in awe. So I can only imagine how it is in the fashion area. Amazing. These are the things that remind you that you are alive. You are in the busy, bustling area. You can feel the electricity of people just on a mission, somewhere to go, somewhere to be, something to do. As I continue, and once again, thank you guys for your comments. I appreciate them, and I'll continue to read them in between because it's fun. Daryl Webb became chairman and CEO of JOANN Fabrics in March 2006. JOANN stores announced plans to sell out to private equity firm Leonard Green and Partners for $1.6 billion on March 23rd. You guys, March 23rd is my birthday. It's amazing how JOANN Fabrics, now I knew JOANN Fabrics meant a lot to me, simply because my mom and I went there, and I only believe I went there with her, just me and her. It was our little thing, and I think she was going there to get like fake flowers and stuff for church. At that time my mom was happy, and she was involved with the church because it had a community feel then, and she would talk with the other the women at her time, women and stuff, and she seemed really happy. So JOANN Fabrics makes me think of happy memories with my mom when she used to be happy. And so to hear this, JOANN stores announced plans to sell out private equity firm Leonard Green and partners for $1.6 billion on March 23rd, which is my birthday, and 2010 was delisted from the stock exchange in March 2011. Darrell Webb resigned in March 2011, and Travis Smith was promoted to CEO after joining the company in March 2006. Travis Smith announced his resignation in March 2014. That's a lot of moving and changing of hands in just a short time of March, guys. Were people just really tired and they saw their window of opportunity and jumped on it? That's how I'm taking it. Sometimes the opportunity ship, it sails, and sometimes for some of us it goes about this fast, real time. So you have to catch it and don't hesitate. So you have to act on it. Side note, that's why they say get ready, stay ready, so you don't have to get ready. And that means especially in your dreams and visions and what you want to do, because if you don't start anywhere, you won't have anything to show when that ship comes in. How can the ship latch you on if you have nothing to show to add to it? So that's how I feel about writing my books. The spelling is awful, but I knew if I just let that get in my way, I wouldn't have gotten anything done. So I'm proud to say that I've done that, because now it's done. I have something to prove, if that makes sense. I have something to show for, instead of just talks of I want to do this, I wish I could, but. Or like my YouTube channel. I started somewhere. The presentation isn't always how I would prefer it to be. Honestly, I want my setup to be whole entirely different. But until I get there, I'm doing the best I can with what I have. And holding on to that ship of opportunity. And I'm not letting go. I'm going to be ready. I'm going to stay ready to the best of my ability. JOANN Stores announced plans to sell off to private equity firm Leonard Green and Partners $1.6 billion on March 23rd, 2010, and was delisted from the stock exchange in March 2011. Travis Smith announced his resignation in March 2014. The company's CFO, Jim Kerr, agreed to become CEO until the replacement was found. I wonder if that replacement was found. We're about to find out now. JOANN Stores named Jill Soltau as President and Chief Executive Officer and a member of the company's board of directors in March 2015. Under Soltau's leadership, the retailer opposed President Trump's tariffs, citing American manufacturers not being able to meet JOANN's quality or volume needs. Now, wait a minute. They're talking about tariffs back in? What do you mean they're talking about tariffs back then? This is in 2015, guys, and they're talking about tariffs back then. Now, I am reading from Wikipedia. For goodness, Wikipedia gives us something to go by. JOANN Stores named Jill Soltau as President, Chief Executive Officer, and a member of the company's board of directors in March 2015. See, here's the part I'm stuck at. Under Soltau's leadership, the retailer opposed President Trump's tariffs, citing American manufacturers not being able to meet JOANN's quality or volume needs. She joined 7 other retail CEOs at a meeting with the administration where they discussed how the tariff would raise consumer prices and hurt businesses. JOANN Stores rebranded to JOANN in March 2018 as a way to move beyond fabrics and encompass more crafts. So you guys, they were talking about Trump and tariffs in the windows of 2015 through 2018. And here we are. We are in the helm of the tariffs now, and they are here, and to my knowledge, full effect. So the alarm will sound, obviously, right? The alarm will sound. But it seems to always be inevitably too late for the majority of people. Bummer, right? bummer. Thank you for the music. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Music is in me. It's in you. It's our first language. Symbols and drawing is our first language. Reading energy is our first language. Music is our first language. Our voices are our first language. Music is in you. Hi, Jeff Miller. Long time no see. I talked about Nesquik with sound waves, and the chocolate one was awful in year 2025. So I'm not even going to risk it with the Nesquik. I'm not even going to risk it with the Nesquik. Not the strawberry, because I don't want to get sick, because the thought is about to make me. So that's the answer for that. So that's crazy. JOANN was talking with Donald Trump in the windows of 2005 to 2018 about how tariffs were going to mess up everything. And here we are. Now, this says C-19 pandemic. It's going to tell us what happened to JOANN Fabrics during this time. Now, a lot of people took a heavy hit on that. Prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, the chain lost $546.6 million. My soul weeps for you, JOANN Fabrics. Almost just as tough as how I weep for Drake when I heard that They Not Like Us roast. My soul wept for him. It's like, dude, I'm so sorry. Ooh. You know. Ooh. I feel so sorry for Drake. I feel sorry for him. I had to take out 9 days of silence. That's like, I'm sorry for it. So if I felt that way, you know he was feeling it. Ugly cry. Binge eating. Probably binge drinking. Should have been in that studio binge producing. These music artists need all the money they can get. Hollywood is on one. So prior to the C-19 pandemic, the chain lost $546.6 million in its 2019 physical year, guys. However, by the end of the 2020 physical year, it made $210.9 million to 2,1200.9 and added 9 million new customers. Okay. The increase in sales is credited to mask mandates, yes, and an increased interest in do-it-yourself products. That is so correct. In March 2021, JOANN made plans to create an e-commerce facility in West Jefferson, Ohio, to better service online sales. So the sentence where I read the increase in sales is credited to mask mandates and an increased interest to do-it-yourself projects, it says citations are needed, but I'm reading what it says. Yes, rest in peace, Drake. Only way he can resurrect himself is to make a fire album. If I was a music artist, and you are bound to make some flop albums. You might even have 3 years of floppage, according to social media, but you have to keep cranking out the hits. Pistons lost. What they gotta do? Eat that, weep, mourn, cry, complain, say life not fair, punch the sky, punch invisible people, then get back in the gym and get ready to try again. Such is life. I need some cereal. You want to know why tornadoes were invented? Why? Because so many angry people punch at the sky. And the sky and the wind is like, I'm tired of y'all taking y'all aggression out on me. Tornado! And that's that. That was so funny. That was funny. Oh my, you so funny, LA. And I said to myself, you so funny, LA. Yeah. And I said to myself, whoo. Dramatic pause. You so funny, LA. Oh yeah. Rest in peace, the man who sang that song like that. Yeah, they punched it in the head, Jeff Miller. Dramatic pause. Bankruptcies and liquidations. It just gets from one burden to the next, JOANN. Man, I feel sorry for y'all. But let's trudge forward and read about the downfall of JOANN Fabrics. Shouts out to the JOANN. Shouts out to the Fabrics. I'm sorry that it happened. I used to sew lavish clothes. Oh, y'all need me on y'all team. I can't make y'all come back. In September 2023, in September 2023, JOANN announced it would lay off an unspecified number of administrative employees. So you know what that means. Everybody except corporate gonna lose their jobs. Only time you want to see corporate roll up their sleeve is in times like this. In moments like this, we have to fire everybody. Oh my gosh, do you know what this means? And she shipped $1 million glass of champagne. We're gonna have to actually do the work ourselves. Honey, yes. If you don't want this business to fold and you want to keep drinking $1 million glasses of champagne, I just did my nails. You mean we fired everyone? There's no one left to do the work for us? No, in order to save the family name and legacy, we have to fire everyone. We have to go to work now. I don't want to get dirty. Honey, if you don't go to work, you're going to be dirty everywhere because we're going to be living under the bridge. Kill quiet. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Oh, hey, hey, hey. Ho, ho. No, no, yeah, yeah. Oh. Should I stay? No, dog, don't stay. Rest in peace to him, too. Good song. As sad as it was. In October 2023, Fitch Ratings and Credit Risk Monitor reported that JOANN was nearing a potential Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing. And what's so wrong with a little bankruptcy here and there? You know, what's wrong with a little bankruptcy filing from time to time? What's so wrong with a 7-year jubilee where all your credit's supposed to be lifted off of you? I don't see them doing that too much anymore, but hey, what's a little bankruptcy here and there? Everybody needs a second, third chance. Michael and JOANN Fabric should get married. They need to because it's looking lean out here in these craft streets. Y'all better merge y'all businesses together. They're going to be too stuffy to even want to do something like that. They don't want to mix money. Not unless it make real sense. That's a good idea, Jeff Miller. But I can only rest my hat on corporate being too stuffy and arrogant to want to do it. Which don't make sense. So here we go again. That month, JOANN was handed a delisting notice from NASDAQ. Oh man, as the stock share price fell below $1 a share. So it's possible to have something on the stock market that's $1 on up. Bing! JOANN was handed a delisting notice from NASDAQ as its stock share price fell below $1 per share, and stated that if JOANN was unable to get its shares up to $1 or above, its stock will be delisted from NASDAQ. If you don't get your act together, JOANN, we gonna have to cut you. Cut you from the line. JOANN filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection on March 18th. The company planned to cut over $500 million in debt and restructure into a privately held company. It planned to complete its filing by late April with no employees or stores affected. NASDAQ halted the trading of the company's stock on March 28th, and on April 9th, JOANN was formally delisted from the exchange. The company's recognition plan was approved by a federal judge on April 25th, and JOANN emerged from bankruptcy as a private company. Out of the ashes, I shall rise from Chapter 11 bankruptcy into a private company. Now that I know how to diversify the system, diversify my funds, with the power of bankruptcy, I can buy anything. Moving on. On January 15th, 2025, which brings us to present day. Present day. Joe, oh, come on. We just read about this. What the age? On January 15th, 2025, guys. JOANN filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection for the second time in less than a year. Now, you're mismanaging your funds, and you're putting red flags on all of us who trying to do what you doing, you dummy. You're going to mess it up for everybody. On January 15th, JOANN Farmers had the grand idea to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection for the second time in less than a year. The company cited continued declining sales as a contribution to its second filing. You think? Stores are expected to remain open throughout the procedure as the company attempts to shed its debt by $500 million. Has anyone heard from Warren Butthead on tariffs? The fact of the matter is, only thing I know is yesterday, according to a video I listened to, is that the ports here in America, where the ships be at, the docking ports, empty. Now, I didn't go to the website that they referred me to go to, but that's what I heard. And I need to see what her channel was called, because I like listening to them. And I don't want to be one of those people where I don't want to name websites or something, or name other YouTubers. I really want to is it called One Direction? She's got an arrow, and I hear the music in my head. But man, she be so serious about what she's saying. She's talked about it yesterday. And then this morning, I think I glazed over some sound bites of information where Trump might be trying to turn this car around because he's realizing the error of his ways. But we don't know how long that's going to be and how soon that may happen. Wow, what's the name of her show? I need to look. What's the name of One Direction? I know it's not One Direction. Redirecting Proverbs. And she's got another channel too, but Redirecting Proverbs is where I listen to her, and they gave us an update on what's going on with the port docs. And she gave us the link so we can see for ourselves, because it's live camera footage. So I'll give you some keywords. You can type in something like live camera port dock footage, and you'll be able to see for yourself how that is looking over there as far as shipping and cargo coming in and out. According to yesterday's news, it's bone dry. So this morning, my husband and I talked about the truckers. What is that going to mean for the truckers? Because if there isn't anything coming in, they're not going to have anything to deliver. So shouts out to Redirecting Proverbs. Thank you so much for your valuable information that you shared to us. And you said that's a band? That's a nice name for a band. Well, heck, I thought you was talking about our cartoon president. Dun, 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 dun. Hi, I'm Donald Trump, and I like fried chicken too. I like McDonald's also. I don't eat corporate people food. I go out to Wendy's and get junior bacon sandwiches. Okay, I'm done. And you want to know where all the money going to? To his belly. That's why his kid's so thin. He don't even feed them. They're grown, they can take care of themselves. I want all the money because of me so I can eat greasy burgers and hot dogs, frosted shakes. I'm done. So JOANN Fabrics done filed a Chapter 11 again, back to back. And they re-emerged on April 25th, and JOANN emerged from bankruptcy as a private company. On February 12, 2025, oh boy, JOANN announced the closure of 500 of its remaining 800 locations in an effort to... This mouse is moving too much. On February 12, 2025, JOANN announced the closure of 500 of its remaining 800 locations in an effort to right-size the company's footprint. Oh, I like that. Remember the movie Downsizing? Or what's the other word we're going to, Dilbert cartoon? They lost their minds because they knew what the word meant. It was basically a fancy word for firing people. You know, we're going another direction, meaning they're going to pick someone else. But along those lines, to right-size the company's footprint, on 61 of the locations slated for closure are in California, while Florida, Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania will each see more than 30 JOANN's locations closed. On February 24, 2025, it was announced that JOANN will liquidate the remaining 300 locations after failing to find a buyer. Its assets will be sold to GA Group, a private equity firm. And you know how that goes. Michaels is going to take everything and probably Hobby Lobby or the Dollar Tree. Shrink. That's one word too. It was not rebranding, synergy. That's the word on the Dilbert cartoon. They were throwing the sales out of windows and stuff when they found out this, like, the company was going to go into synergy. They knew what that meant. People were going to lose their jobs. So thank you so much. Because while you type in shrinkage, it made me think of synergy. One Direction, longshoreman jobs. You sure know your words. One Direction. Oh, Burger Boy, like Big Boy in his stomach. Eat at Big Boys! Eat at Big Boys! Dun, 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 dun. Eat at Big Boys! Eat at Big Boys! Eat at Big Boys! Dun, 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 dun. Eat at Big Boys! Eat at Big Boys! Eat at Big Boys! Shouts out Kendrick. I take that for a remix. I have come to the ending of this article, and I wish I did not. I want to read more about the downfall of JOANN's, because the story is a corporate blunder. Like you and I, we can see the answers that they are refusing to take. I'm only laughing at corporate because when they lose money, they're gonna whine and cry. But when it's all said and done, they don't have to worry about stuff like us. The basic things that they make it so hard for us to get. So it's easier to laugh at them. But you guys in the chat, you're already like, why don't they just do this? Right, why don't they just do that? Why don't they downsize? Shrinkage? Why don't they merge together? Why don't they get a smaller building? It's the simplest things. They're trying to save everything. Everything must not be saved. You had to cut off the fat. But why bother? So here's his JOANN headquarters, and it's in Hudson, Ohio, formerly Cleveland Fabric Shop, 1943 through 1963. Then it became Fabric Centers in 1963 to 1998. Now it's a private company, traded as on the NASDAQ as JOANN, capital JOANN. Industry is retail, founded in 1943. 82 years ago in Cleveland, Ohio, USA. I have so many ideas of how they could have said that, but I'm not going to share that. Why? Y'all made it this far. Fate, Chapter 11 bankruptcy and liquidation. Headquarters 5555 Darrow Road, Hudson, Ohio, United States. Number of locations 855 as of 2021, and so on, and so on. Like on the Lego Batman movie, they had a BOMB, and there was a lazy timer. She was like T minus, what was it? What did she say? It was such a lazy timer on the bomb that he said. Oh my gosh, he said 1 locomotive, 2 locomotive, 10 locomotive, 9 locomotive, 8 locomotive, and so on. I'm like, we need a full countdown so we know how much time we have before this thing is supposed to. She's like, and so on. I'm like, you lazy son of a... Here's forever. Da, da, da. Oh, forever and ever and ever. And so on. That's one of the Batman Lego movie songs. Let me go to the survey and see what you guys posted up before I wrap this up. This was a fun video. Let's post it up. Ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba. Let's post it up. Ba-da-ba-ba. But yeah, let's post it up. I wish Neo got back to making good music like that, man. I out there in the streets going crazy. So Strawberry Shake is at 100%, and I voted for Strawberry Shake also. Thank you guys for voting for that. So we had pick one. Today's choices were Strawberry Shake or Strawberry Milk. Nobody picked Strawberry Milk, especially if it was from Nesquik. Let me type in my, what do you call it, closing remarks. These are the closing remarks. CLOSING. CLOSING remarks. Something. Do you know what that means? CLOSING. If you ain't on, sit down. 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 The guy who sang that song maybe 2 weeks ago, according to the YouTube live that was being delivered on stream, old boy was having a heart attack on live. He went to like 2 to 3, was a little Boosie. He was like having a heart attack on live. He went to like 2 or 3 different hospitals here in Georgia. And he was tripping out because when nobody taking him serious, he was complaining because he said he would go, he had to wait for hours. He was laying out in the hospital waiting for someone to see him. And on top of that, when he went to the hospitals, the nurses were treating him like it wasn't anything wrong with him. But the things he were going in for are the symptoms that they teach us as African Americans to look for in signs of a heart attack or stroke. So he went into a couple of hospitals. And they were treating him like, oh, it's nothing wrong with you, just go take an aspirin and lay down. But I feel that if a man, especially an African American man, goes into the hospital on his own free will because he's scared that something's going on with him, they should take it serious. And it made me feel some type of way because Lil Boosie is still a celebrity, and Lil Boosie has more money than the most of us, period. But for him to have the same runaround that I experienced in hospitals, where I go in with the complaint and I feel awful and they say there's nothing wrong with me, I'm like, I wouldn't be in here if I felt so bad, because I have to be at work. I don't want to have to pay the bill. I don't want to have to make up hours. So why would I be in here? So being treated like nonchalantly in hospitals, I've experienced that so many times, and it make me just always question, is it because I'm black? It just always makes me question those things, especially when I had my son. The lady was so mean to me. She was a bitch. I was yelling and she told me to be quiet. It don't hurt, quit screaming. She just was talking to me like she was so disgusted of me. So those are a couple of examples that I had when I experienced with hospitals and stuff. But I'm sorry about that, Boosie, but thank you for putting that out there. That's some of the things that should be kind of talking about in reference to Boosie. He's do a lot of bad stuff, but I'm talking about when it comes to medical attention for the African American community and stuff. This should be highlighted. So maybe if I remember, this is something I'll highlight in reference to him from that angle. So let me type in closing remarks. Closing remarks. Can you guys hear anything? Let me see here. Closing remarks. And oopsies. Closing remarks. Oops. Alright. Now let me type in. Okay, I figured it out on my end. I'm gonna still type it to let you guys know. I don't know how in the world that happened. That's so weird. I can hear myself again. Somehow I pushed the wrong. Somehow I tapped something. On the screen. Alright, so can I get to the closing remarks, everyone? Oh, what's going on? People crazy. Let's see. Computer. I want to type in my little computer. Paper. Let me find, where's my paper at? Paper. We need to get move button. That'd be dope. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Let's see here. Yeah, because what's his name? He's got the Dame Dash has got the pause button. Pause, 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 pause. Dame Dash has got the pause button, so we should have the move button. Fudge, I pushed the wrong button. The screen, get out of the way. Let's see, what? Closing remarks. Is that the name of a fish? You know, it's like a combination of a fish and a cow. The bass fish. Now you remember the bass fish pillows, the life-size bass fish pillows. So I think at JCPenney's, I wanted one. By the time I saved up my money to get the one I wanted, it was gone. Closing remarks. Chapter 11 seems like a great idea if you utilize it right. That's what I'm typing in my closing remarks. Chapter 11. UTI. I know I spelled that wrong. Let me pick up the mouse so I can right click on that. Right click on that. Right click on that. Right click on. Right click on that. Also, there. Okay. Moon bass fish. Let me type that in. I need to type that book into my into an open browser so I will not forget. Open browser. So moon bass fish. So let me see here. Moon bass fish. So I looked it up, I don't see it. So if you're talking in code, I'm not gonna get it. So let's see here. Thank you though. Closing remarks. Chapter 11 seems like a good idea if you utilize it right, unlike JOANN Fabrics. Who in the world takes back-to-back chapter 11s? Toni Braxton didn't even do that. Now, she spaced hers apart. Chapter 11, chapter 7, chapter 11, chapter 7. You know, bang, bang, bang. But what in the corporate is going on? I have never heard anybody file back-to-back chapter 11s in the same year. JOANN Fabrics should go down in history for that alone. Can you file chapter 11 back to back? I'm about to see, because now I'm curious. How did they get away with that? Whoever has the gold makes the rules. Yeah, if I had the gold, y'all wouldn't like me. I make everything like it's supposed to be. But apparently corporate don't want everybody to be happy. Can you file back to back chapter 11s? I'm getting ready to see. Oh, what? Hold on. So I typed in, can you file back-to-back chapter 11s? It says, yes, generally you can file for chapter 11 bankruptcy multiple times, as long as your previous chapter 11 case is concluded. However, there are some expectations and potential limitations. Specific circumstances and time limits. Dismiss for willful disobedience, liquidation intent, discharge eligibility. In essence, there isn't a limit to how many times you can file for chapter 11, but the circumstances of your previous filing and your eligibility for discharge in the new case are crucial factors to consider. So you mean, as Funky Donnie would say, I can freely mess up the church's money, and all I gotta do is walk up to the judge and say, I wanna file chapter 11. Dude, you sure can. Go back to church, mess up the money again. I wanna file chapter 11. You sure can. Boom. Remember that bass fish they hang on the wall that moves and sings? Oh, I get you. Yeah, the filet of fish cow. Because he was in a Burger King or restaurant commercial. He is swapping singing the filet of fish song for McDonald's. When McDonald's first had the McDonald's filet of fish, give me that filet of fish. Or something he was singing. Good mercy, that's a bright idea. Good mercy, that's a bright idea. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's a good idea. So apparently also for FYE, you can, yes, generally according to AI Overview, yes, generally you can file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy multiple times as long as your previous Chapter 11 case is concluded. However, there are some expectations and potential limitations, specific circumstances and time limits. Dismissed for willful disobedience. If your prior Chapter 11 case was dismissed due to willful failure to obey a court order, you may have to wait 180 days before filing again. Liquidation intent. If you intend to liquidate most of your assets in Chapter 11 filing, you may not be able to file again within 8 years of your prior case. So that's where I was figuring it out at. So once again, in reference to filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy, please be advised I'm reading this information from AI Overview. Liquidation intent in reference to filing Chapter 11 back to back. If you intend to liquidate most of your assets in the new Chapter 11 filing, you may not be able to file again within 8 years of your prior case. Discharge eligibility. The bigger factor than simply filing again is whether you're eligible for discharge of debts in the new case. And lastly, guys, in essence, there isn't a limit to how many times you can file for Chapter 11, but the circumstances of your previous filing and your eligibility for discharge in the new case are crucial factors to consider. So I believe this is valuable information that you can use to apply for your life or family and friends, especially for the people who are in the entrepreneur thing. Once again, I just typed in, can you file back-to-back Chapter 11? So you can use that line of thought to formulate your own ideas and get some concrete information. But this is a strong lead to go by if you may be in a financial pinch as far as business-wise or so on. What's up, Rico King? It's been a long time. No, sir. Thank you for dropping cows in the chat. Cows in the chat. I'm doing great. Thank you for coming in. I was talking about JOANN Fabrics today and how they had the gall to file back-to-back Chapter 11 cases in the same year. So I'm like, how in the H was that possible? So it led me to ask, can you file back-to-back Chapter 11? Because JOANN Fabrics did, and according to AI Overview, you can. While despite filing Chapter 11 back-to-back, to this day, according to JOANN Fabrics, JOANN Stores LLC is a soon-to-be-defunct American specialty retail chain specializing in fabrics and arts and craft supplies. They are slated to just close the rest of their stores down. So apparently, consecutive Chapter 11s didn't help. Now, everybody in the comments were giving out good ideas on what they could have done to save it. But apparently, they don't want to listen to people like us and only want to stay in their realm of thinking, which is why they're closing down. But you guys have some bright ideas on how to save the day. But hey, they don't want to listen to us, so bada bing. You get what you get, and you got what you got. But out of the story, I've learned about filing Chapter 11. And also another nugget is that apparently, according to the stock market, NASDAQ, the stock market by way of NASDAQ sent JOANN Fabrics a nice little angry letter saying that, hey, if you don't get your stock markets up to $1 or above, they're gonna have to basically kick them out of the market. So you mean to tell me you could put anything in the stock market for $1 or above? If that's the case, there's things for $1 and above that you can invest in, because all this grand corporation had to do, you mean to tell me that's all they had to do in order to be deemed into their good graces, was to get their stock back up to $1? There's the silver lining, guys. There's some more silver lining and hope by way of America. Consecutive Chapter 11 filings. We didn't even touch on Chapter 7s. Investing super low. Now, I've heard of penny stocks, but good mercy, there's a couple of silver lining things I learned from here that you all can share with your family and friends and yourself. I'm going back to the paragraph where I can read it out loud so you can see about the investment thing. Let me see here. Bankruptcies and liquidation. It's right here. So the link that I provided for you in the description is the information I'm reading right now. If you want to follow on, it's a link to Wikipedia, to which I'm reading, and I'm under the category that's in bold letters called bankruptcies and liquidation. So I do want to reread this to refresh you guys' memory about the silver lining in reference to the possibilities of expanding your finances, possibly by way of this, what I learned from JOANN Fabrics. In September 2023, JOANN announced it would lay off an unspecified number of administrative employees. In October 2023, Fitch Ratings and Credit Risk Monitor reported that JOANN was nearing a potential Chapter 11 bankruptcy. That month, JOANN was handed a delisting notice from NASDAQ as its stock share price fell below $1 per share. JOANN's stock share fell below $1 per share, and stated that if JOANN was unable to get its shares up to $1 or above, its stock would be delisted from NASDAQ. So if that's not a little nest egg of information to take along with you. My name is LA, pronounced like LA, like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. Thank you so much for coming in. I've learned so much, and I know you guys have too. So much to the point that I wanted to repeat it to everyone who's just now coming in, so you can know what we touched on. I want to put a few cows in the chat before I head out. Let me get the screen loaded up. Y'all, these Fruit Loops are so good. They're wonderful and fresh. And just imagine if I put the milk in. I'm going to put some cows in the chat really quickly before I head out of here. Cows in the chat, 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 yeah, meow, boom, that was fun. Now I'll sing my sign off song and I'll head out of here. See y'all again. Check out my cool Happy Meal video I made today. Ow! Thank you. How old are you? Mind your blankety blank business. It don't matter how old I am. It's the child at heart in me that lives on. Okay, bye.